Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. So last episode I took the precision window to jewel status 44 of 44. And today I'm going to do Polyomino. Oh, there's one hiding down there. There's probably several others hiding down there, but I'll start with this one. Okay, this can't go vertically because it blocks that, so it has to go horizontally. This has to go like that. It's fixed. Means that has to go like that. This could go horizontally because these two shapes could go together. Let us continue with that and that. I think are kind of forced. Can't put an S there or horizontal, I've got to put a square. I'm not certain that that's the only way of doing that, but it looks plausible. And done. Okay, yeah, I thought there'd be another one hiding down at the bottom. And it's level 7, so I will come back to it a little bit later. Is that one looking through the... oh. Can't quite see how to get at that one. Come back to that when I've figured out where it is. Okay, that has got to be like that. Means that one's going to have to be like that. And this one's going to have to be like that. And then I've broken that one. This one could also be like that, which gives me a little bit more space up at the top. That's level 6. That one is... come on, surely I can get to that. No. I have to get to that one underneath. Yes, I do. That's level 4. Okay, that's locked in. If this was horizontal, then this would have to go like that, which actually works. If this was vertical, then this is broken. So this one is horizontal, and this one does go around it like that. That probably just fills in across the bottom there, but it could also go up and around here. This can go up and down there. So if this went like this, then those would work. Then we'd have that. and that. But that messes up this S. So that's the place I have to look. Where can this S go? It can go up, which forces the T to go there, square to go there, this here, and that breaks that T. It can go out like that, and that T is already broken. Go down like that, and the square is broken. So I thought I just eliminated that. This bit I wasn't sure of, I haven't locked it in. This combination's broken. So this one can't go down. That I'm certain of. So well boxed in. Has to go that way. This going up forces that down, forces the square there. Forces that one to that. And now there's no way of fitting those T's in. Let's start this again. So, that square, no questions. This piece, it goes like that. That T is broken. It goes like that. The square is broken. So it can't go out to this side, so it has to go out to this. That piece forces it off to the left, and it goes up there. Or it goes down like that. That's the combination I think that I haven't considered. So if I do that, and that, and that, that's too few. This has to go horizontally, and it has to come at least 3 across. that can actually go one further up. Right. And now I can fit this one in here, which lets me do this. And then I can put this back where I had it first time around. And those all fit. So I'm going to lock them in. Okay, so unless I can overlap more of the shapes that are given, I actually can't have any gaps. Fine. I take that out, put that one in there, and that takes out the two gaps that I'd left. Yeah, that was a nice puzzle. I had to think quite a bit. Let's mingle shape. I don't want to go over it as far as mingle shape. Or do I have more? Yes, the ones that flash on and off that matter. And I think a lot more of these are down underneath. Ah, there's one lurking there. All shapes have to be straight or elbow threes. That was a lot easier than the last level 4 that I just did. That one's been done. It's just got a beam of red light going through it. There's the other ones I was having problems figuring out where it was. Okay, we have 6s and 7s. And some 3s and 4s as well, and 63 spaces to fill. These are different shapes, so where can this one go? Can go like that, but that's blocked. Can go like that. This one is still blocked, because it can't join on with that. If I do that, then those two work. And there's obviously no problem completing this. I don't think this could end up there. Okay, let's just try that. Yeah, that looks more plausible. And if the previous position was correct, this one's also correct. So there's no reason not to do it. This, I think, can only go in one place, which is there. Ooh. So this can't do that because this one gets left out. And those can go around like that, so those do fit together just. That was fun. Where are we up to? 3 to go. And they are 2 ordinary puzzles down that side. Oops. So here's one of them. Wow, level 2. Watch me mess it up. That has to go vertically. There's no longer enough room horizontally. That one's going to have to go vertically. That goes that way. That and that are locked. This one has to go horizontally. That's going to have to go there. This is going to have to go here. Is that one that I've not done? Yes, it is. Difficulty 5. Very similar to the last one, but a bit harder. That's 3 vertically, but it could go up or down. Yeah, okay. 3 horizontally. Those 3 have to be vertical and go at least 1 up. That has to be vertical and go at least 1 up. Horizontal, but I don't know where it goes. This can no longer go horizontally, so it has to go vertically and at least 1 down. So the tightest I can do with this to fill those in like that, that in like that, and that down. I'm not certain about those, but these ones I'm not losing anything by doing that. So I think they can be marked in. Nothing else can reach here. I don't see how taking this space could give me a problem with anything else coming along here. So I'll do that. This can't go 2 up, it has to come at least 1 down. That has to go down now. We could do that, 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 that. And it breaks at this point, because this one can't go down, or it knocks this off. So extend that another space. That has to come down. That can go that way, that can go that way, and that can go that way. Okay, I'm not sure how I would have worked out exactly how those ones in the middle went, but it worked, I guess. And we have a level 7 puzzle. All regions are elbow, L, and big elbow. So if this were going up here, then this one can come up around there, and that all works fine. Let's just see how it goes for a bit, see if there's a pinch point somewhere. That, of course, isn't working because I'm not allowed singles. Okay. So without singles, I can still do that. Okay. But this could also be an elbow and then an elbow. No, I can't. It's got to get in here. Which means I have to do that. I don't know that this is right because it's a bit of a hypothesis, but it looks good that I filled in a lot of the available space. Now if I do that, this one can't do that. That makes that bit unfillable. That lets me fill that, and then that, and then that. Okay. It's probably going to come to a nasty mess in a bit. Ooh, is this actually going to work? I believe it is. That must be some kind of record for me with a level 7 puzzle. Wow. I was dreading it, but it was actually quite nice. I will admit that I didn't entirely start off completely logically. I did what, well, this looks good, and it seemed to flow. Enjoyed that. And we have Polyomino jewels. Mingle shape. Okay, let's see where the mingle shape. There's a white one in the windmill. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ruby ones that I can see. 6. Okay, it must be another one somewhere that I've missed, but there is indeed. There's one hiding around the corner here. I get the one in the windmill. There it is. Neighbouring regions must have different shapes. This 3 has to be horizontal and has to come at least this far, which means it has to go there to avoid breaking the mingle shape rule. Right, so there's the sticky point. So if I start from here and go left, the 4s run into one another. That's what I was missing. So this 4 could go vertically. That's perfectly allowed. So then I can do that and fill in with the 2. That 4 can't go vertically because it hits this. So it's going to have to go horizontally. Can't go horizontally because then it hits that. So the only way of completing this 4 is to do that up to the edge and have a 1. Let's pick another colour for the 1s. Okay, this... This one could go vertically from the very top. This has to go horizontally. Means it has to go that far. Which means these 2 3s both have to come like that. That's going to have to be a 1. That's going to have to be a 1 because we can't do a vertical 4 there. That's a 4. That's a 3 and a 1. Just lock those in because I think I've pretty much demonstrated them to my own satisfaction. That could go vertically with this one being horizontal, and this is not part of that 4. So this can't go horizontally, so it has to go vertically. I don't know, top or bottom, which one of those it runs into. These, again, have to go vertically because there's not enough space for them to be horizontal. Oh, come on, give me green. Let's just try 3, 4, 3. This 3 can't go left or it's that. It means that has to go up. That's a 2, that's a 1, a 1, a 1, a 1. And oops. These two 4s can't run together. Okay. Now the other white one, which is the level 5 hiding around the corner. All regions must be one of these shapes, and these two must be singles. So that has to be a 2. That touches a 1 and a 2, so it has to come out that way. We have to put a 2 on here. I don't know if this extends up. That's going to have to be a 1. If this goes up, then that has to be a 2. And then I'm going to need a 1. And then that has to be a 2. That would be a 1 and a 2. It would have to be going up. That would work. And I think at this point it's kind of broken, which is a pity, but that, on the other hand, does that break as well? Yes, it does, because that leaves that space. Now, is there anything I can do here that would have fixed this comparatively easily? That, and that would fix it. Okay. And now we just have some nice 6 ruby puzzles. This is one of them. Level 5. Mingle Shape and Rose Window. Can't see anything else that has two shapes touching, so this cannot get out from this corner except by going through that little triangle. That has to go that way. There's nowhere else it can go. That means that comes out. So that one has to come out. So the only green that this red shape can get to is here. Oh no, they're mingle shapes. Aha. So I know I've got to go as straight there because I've got to pick up the shapes and I don't know if that's a T or an L. That's going to have to come down. Can't be a straight. Could be an L. Can't be a T. So it's got to be an L. Means that one has to be a T. That can't be an L, so it's straight. From this, we can't do a T and we can't do a straight. So it has to be S or L. S doesn't work, so it has to be an L shape. Or it could be a square. Square would make this an S. This is straight. Let's try it. Can always roll back. Can put an L there and finish with a straight. Yeah, that was fun. Five. And they're not even hidden. There's a level 6, a level 6, a level 5, level 4, and level 5. Well, guess what? I'm going to go for the level 4. I find the colouring helps me on the mingle shape. Okay, this cannot go down, so that's an elbow. And this goes either left or right. This can't go right. Run into problems, so that is a single. This one is not a single, nor is it an elbow, because this would be a problem. So this could just go up like that. I just want to try that, see what happens if I did that. Then we'd have something like this. And this becomes an issue up here. Or we could do something like that. And this still becomes an issue up here. So that is forced to join because I can't go left. But I had an elbow already sitting there. So that does go there. Two, one. That can't be a 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I will sort my colours out so that I know where I am. I think that's the only way of colouring this bit. Yeah. No. That can't be an elbow because this space gets broken. So that has to be another 1. And we can put the elbow, no, we can't put an elbow in there because this space gets broken. So that has to be a 2 coming down. And then we can do that. And that would have to be a 2. That breaks that. So that's a 1. That's the elbow. This has to be a 2. That could be a 1. Or I can do that. Right, and I filled that corner. That has to be a 2. That can be a 1, or potentially it could be an elbow. This can't be a 2 or it runs into this. Can't be an elbow. So it's a 1. This can't go up. This can't be a 1, so it has to be the elbow. One and a 2. Not an elbow that way. Not an elbow that way. Okay, put a 1, a 1. Two and an elbow. Oh. Okay, that was the 4s. 5, 5. So we have 1s, 2s, and 4s, and that one has to be a 4, so I can lock it in. That has to be a 2, so I can lock it in. That has to be a 1, so I can lock it in. That has to be a 2. This one has to be a 4. That has to be a 1. Okay, that was the easy bit. That has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. That's not a 4. So this has to be another 1. Means that's going to have to be a 2. It could come out horizontally. If I do that, everything works nicely, apart from the colour of the shape. If I put a 4 in here, I can't complete that bit. If I put a 4 here, nice. Another 5. 2s, 3 straight and 3 elbow. If this goes down, then we have to put a 3 straight in there. And force that 3 straight up. And force an elbow in here. A 2 straight here. 3 straight there. A 2 straight there. An elbow there. These are all forced from my initial does this go down. This can't go left and up, can't go left and down, has to go down and left. I just lock these in even though they're based on bifurcating right at the start. And this is where I realised I didn't need to bifurcate because this can't run into any of those. So reset. This has got to come out. Could go up on either of those. That has to go horizontally. This has to be 2. This has to be a 2. And I think that's the only way of fitting it in. That has to come like that. That has to come out. Okay, that has filled all of the given shapes. So it just comes down to, is there a way of completing the rest of the puzzle? That has to be an elbow. This one has to be a 3 straight. So it's going to have to go down for this elbow to still work. Oh, that's a real pity. Is there a way to fix this? That had to be 3 to come out. This has to go down, because if it goes across, then this one is touching 2s and 3s, has to be an elbow and doesn't have room for an elbow. Because if I could have put that across, and done that, then it works. I have 2 level 6 puzzles to go to finish this region. Whoa! Mingle Shape and Polyomino. And 121 cells to fill in. Now I feel that if I were to do this, then I'm kind of constraining everything else quite a lot, including that gets broken. So that has to come out from the edge. This could go down. Those two can join. This This 4 cannot now go horizontally, which is an issue. Okay, so that's an issue. This one's going to be an issue. That's also possible. The reason I'm looking at that is that if I do this, then this one can come out here, and that one can do that. But these, oh no, these are touching. Let's restart this. So that has to come out. This cannot go that way because it touches. Could go that way, and I get an issue down here. We go even lower down. No, that was when I ran into issues down there. Okay, let's try it a little bit higher up, which is going to force this one up here. which means this is going to have to do that. Fine. This one. And that leaves enough room for this to come out like that, so that this can now go straight up, which is probably a better position. It forces that. This, where can it go? Constrains this one too much. Let's just look at this plus. Can go, no, it can't go down. Can't go out there, it has to go up. Can't go up. Look at that one. I think I may have just blocked this by doing. Okay, let's just roll back a ways. So if I take this out, put that one down a bit. Get that one out. This one, there's enough room to go up there. And that can extend up, so we can fit that in the corner. But now I'm blocking this off, so that would have to take that. Okay, that fits those things in just. This can fit in like that, leaving this one fitting in like that. Now, this could go like that. I think that's the only way it can now go, with that there. And it can come up there and across to this cell. So that is also, no, that then doesn't take what it needs. Okay, to do that, this cannot touch here, mustn't block that one off. Could not go over here because that's then blocked. So I think I'm going to have to try that. But this is blocked. Fine. Let's turn that around. Then I can take 3 down. No, I can't take 3 down. I can't move this down or across. Yeah, this one has got to be where it is. Okay, let's have another look back in this corner. Was there another way to fill things? Such as if I did that. Then pretty sure this solution has to be wrong actually, because this L could go either way. This needs to take up a 3x3 block. This either has to extend one left and let this go up, oh, this can't go up. Silly me. I didn't notice there's another one up there. Okay, this can't go down, so it has to go horizontally. Right, now to get a better feel. That has to go in the middle, because if I push it off to either side, it's always going to run into another one of these. This can't go vertically, so it has to go horizontally. Work out how many. This one can't go up too far a little touch, but it could go down this way if this was further over. This can't go too down, so if it goes vertically it goes like that, which forces the SZ into there, forces this into here, forces this down here. Now that, I think, is going to break that. Yeah, this doesn't fit anymore. Yeah, so I think this going vertically doesn't work. So this has to go horizontally. Can it go over there? Yeah, it probably could do. Horizontally, goes up there. This is going to have to be pushed down here. That can go like that. This is forced to join to the other shape. This has to go vertically. This is now going to have to go here. This one, I think, has to go like that still. I don't think there are any other options. That's not great because it's going to run into that one. And I'm running out of space to put the cross in. Oof. This looks as though it might complete. Let's lock those all in. So all the unshaded ones are fine. This has to go like that. This is going to have to go like that. That has to go like that. And we got there. Whew. Okay, one more level 6 puzzle. And I'm well over the hour now. That can only be that shape. Which means this one round here has to be the L. That's going to have to be another elbow. This bit here ain't right. If I do that, now that can't be. That's an L. An elbow. I wonder if I went wrong. Thought that had to be an L, but actually it could possibly be that. No, because this has to come out of here. That can only be an L. This cannot be part of a big T, so it's part of an L. Can't finish across that way, so it has to finish across the bottom. Those I can be pretty sure of. Yeah, that will work. This has to be another large elbow, so that can be an L. Elbow, L. Which lets me put something, I don't know which shape, in there. Right. This has to be an L, so that's going to have to be an elbow. This can be another of the big L's. That's an elbow. That becomes an L. This becomes a big L and an ordinary elbow. And done. And ooh, we have jeweled mingle shape. Okay, that was quite productive, I think, in terms of finishing these off. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give a like, leave a comment, and I'll be back soon with another one.